The first sight of Shatter 9 was unlike anything the alien fleet had ever seen. From orbit, the planet appeared small, jagged, and violent. Lightning danced across its stormy skies, while volcanic eruptions sent black smoke curling into the air. The oceans boiled in certain regions, and enormous fissures crisscrossed the surface like scars. The alien commanders had expected a struggling planet, one they could easily conquer and plunder. They expected weak life, scared and scattered. They did not expect humans. The landing crafts shook as they pierced the turbulent atmosphere. The aliens inside were tall, armored, and built for war. Each had 4 arms ending in claws, eyes that glowed faintly in the dark, and minds trained to calculate every risk. They had faced countless life forms across dozens of worlds, but nothing prepared them for what they were about to encounter. Below, the humans were already waiting. Not in fear, not hiding, but moving with a strange grace and confidence that unsettled the aliens. Kale, a young human with strong shoulders and bright eyes, crouched atop a jagged cliff, watching the descending ships. He grinned. The humans had trained for this moment their entire lives, and they were ready. Around him, other humans sharpened spears, checked nets, and carried tools that looked primitive to the aliens but were deadly in human hands. The first patrol of aliens touched down near a riverbed. Their boots sank slightly into the black, cracked soil. They expected to see trembling creatures, easy to capture or kill. Instead, they saw a group of humans dragging enormous prey up the slope, a massive, horned creature with legs thicker than the aliens' torsos. The humans moved in perfect coordination, leveraging ropes and pulleys to control the beast. Their muscles flexed, their faces calm, their eyes sharp. One of the alien commanders, a hulking figure with a jagged, horned crest, froze mid-step. He nudged another with a claw. "What is that?" he hissed. "That is basic hunting," the other replied uncertainly. The first commander's eyes widened. "Basic, that is impossible. They are lifting a beast twice their size with nothing but raw strength and coordination. Our strongest squads could not do this in simulation." Not a single human had been harmed, and yet they had captured one of the planet's most dangerous predators using only skill and instinct. The aliens, observing from a distance, could not believe it. They sent a small drone closer to scan the humans' bodies, their strength, their bones, even their heart rates. The drone returned readings that were impossible. Humans could endure temperatures far below freezing and far above boiling. Their muscles repaired themselves quickly. Their reflexes were beyond what alien biology could explain, and their courage, it was not just bravery. It was fearlessness in the face of almost certain death. One of the younger humans, a girl named Lyra, stepped forward and swung a massive net over a smaller predator that was trying to sneak toward their camp. She handled the creature as easily as if it were a kitten. A few of the aliens hissed in disbelief. They are not afraid," muttered one alien soldier. "Not even of the creatures. Not even of us." They would learn quickly that the humans of Shatter 9 did not fear death. They embraced it when necessary. The aliens attempted their first attack. Small squads moved down the cliffs, weapons ready. They fired energy pulses that could tear through rock. Humans dodged effortlessly, leaping over falling debris and rolling behind jagged stones. One alien struck at Kale with a heavy claw, but Kale caught the arm mid-swing and twisted it. The alien stumbled backward, shocked. "You feel nothing?" the alien growled, stunned. Kale shook his head. "This is survival. You'll see it soon enough." Every move the aliens made was countered, every attempt blocked. By the time the alien patrol retreated, 2 of their comrades were trapped in nets and another had a broken claw. They hissed at one another, their confidence crumbling. Back on the cliffs, Kale's group watched the retreating aliens. One of the elders, a grizzled man with scars running down his arms, spoke softly but with pride. "They think strength is in their claws and machines. They do not understand instinct, courage, or endurance. To us, this is basic. Survival is what we were born for." He had fought deadly beasts across countless worlds, but never a species that treated death as a challenge rather than a threat. Their communications were filled with disbelief. "They call this basic," he repeated to himself. "We call this evolution gone mad. How do they survive? How do they even live?" Perhaps they are weak in ways we cannot measure. Maybe their weapons are limited, their strategy primitive. Perhaps. They were not unaware of the alien ships watching them. Kale climbed a jagged peak to get a better view, his silhouette framed by the stormy skies and molten rivers. Below him, his people moved with ease across rocks and cliffs, hunting, training, and preparing for whatever came next. A small group of children practiced with wooden spears, leaping over falling boulders as if they were part of the land itself. Every move was precise, every action deliberate. Even the aliens began to notice the patterns: coordination, teamwork, instinctive understanding of physics and terrain. These humans had adapted not just to survive, but to dominate the world they called home. One alien scout ship hovered near Kale's cliff, scanning. Its sensors picked up his heart rate, muscle contractions, and reflex patterns. The data was incomprehensible. No known physiology could withstand such stress and continue functioning at peak levels. The scout sent a frantic message to the commander. "They are thriving." The storms of Shatter 9 raged on, yet the humans moved through them with ease. One of the alien soldiers whispered to his comrade. This was his home, his people, and he would defend it with every ounce of strength he possessed. In the darkness, the aliens watched and learned, and for the first time they felt something they had never felt before: true fear. The alien commanders could not sleep or think clearly. Their fleet hovered above Shatter 9, scanning every inch of the planet, analyzing every human movement, and still failing to understand how such fragile-looking creatures could survive here. Their patrols reported staggering losses and near misses. Every small attack ended in humiliation. Every trap they thought hidden was seen and countered. Kale and his people were already moving, preparing for the next day. The humans did not wait for the aliens to act. They trained, honed, and pushed themselves further. The world of Shatter 9 was brutal, and they had grown with it. They knew that the storms could crush mountains, predators could kill without hesitation, and the alien invaders were only the latest challenge. In the volcanic plains near the eastern ridge, Kale led a small group through narrow paths carved into black rock. The ground trembled with heat, and steam hissed from cracks in the surface. A group of enormous creatures moved in the distance, creatures whose legs were taller than trees and whose skin was harder than the strongest alloys. The humans observed them carefully, studying their movements. They were hunting, but not carelessly. They calculated every step, every breath. Lyra, always quick and daring, darted ahead to set a trap. She had sharpened large obsidian shards into spikes and hidden them beneath the volcanic sand. Another human, Rin, used a rope to tie a weighted log to a cliff edge above, ready to drop it on unsuspecting prey. Every move was deliberate, every action precise. Humans had learned that survival was not about strength alone. It was about intelligence, timing, and unity. The aliens had sent a new patrol, larger this time, expecting humans to panic in the heat of the volcanic plains. Their ships moved low, firing energy pulses to test the humans' defenses. But the humans had already anticipated this. Kale signaled, and the team scattered, taking cover behind natural rock formations. Lyra triggered the spike trap, sending a massive creature crashing to the ground in pain but still alive. Rin dropped the log onto a second creature, pinning it safely so the humans could study it. From above, the aliens watched in disbelief. "They are not afraid of fire, they are not afraid of heat, they are not afraid of us," hissed one officer. "They survive what should be impossible. They think differently, they act differently. Their instincts, their reactions, they are not natural," another replied. Kale moved calmly among the group. His heart pounded, but it was a controlled rhythm. Every muscle in his body was ready, every nerve alert. He watched the humans coordinate as if they were a single being, anticipating each other's movements without words. He thought of the alien ships above, of the creatures they had tamed, and of the challenges yet to come. None of it frightened him. "Rin," he said, pointing to a large boulder near the edge of a cliff. "Set it on the slope. We'll need it to block the path if they try to flank us." Even the youngest children in the group had a role. Some carried small stones to mark safe paths, others observed the behavior of the massive creatures, noting patterns that would help them avoid danger. The alien patrol decided to land closer to the humans' position. A dozen armored soldiers emerged from their ships, energy weapons raised. They assumed humans would scatter, that fear would force them to flee or surrender. But the humans did not flinch. They crouched, watched, and waited for the right moment. One alien soldier fired a pulse weapon. The beam hit the ground, sending molten rock flying. A human leaped over it without hesitation, rolling safely to his feet and signaling to others. Another beam struck a tree, splitting it in half, but the humans used the fallen wood to strengthen their traps. Kale's mind worked quickly. He assessed the terrain, the aliens' weapons, and his people's positions. "Move left over the ridge, trap 2 is ready," he shouted. The humans responded instantly. They pushed a hidden rock slide down a slope, The aliens froze, unable to react fast enough. Two armored soldiers were pinned temporarily, and others had to retreat behind their shields. Lyra ran toward the edge of a steaming fissure, drawing one of the aliens' attention. She leaped onto a boulder, swung herself over a narrow chasm, and used a rope to pull a net down onto another alien. They struggled, trying to free themselves, but the humans' plan was flawless. The commander above gritted his teeth. This is not possible. They are not just surviving, they are using the environment to their advantage. Our training cannot match their intuition. Kale glanced back at his younger sister, Nira, who was carefully maneuvering around a dangerous creature. She moved with confidence and awareness beyond her years, avoiding sudden movements that could trigger an attack. Kale felt a swell of pride. Every member of their tribe had learned to survive here, to thrive where most would die. As the alien patrol tried again, the humans executed their final maneuver. Kale signaled, and massive nets hidden among rocks fell over the armored soldiers. Logs, rocks, and mechanical traps activated, forcing the aliens back step by step. Even with advanced technology, they could not overcome the humans' strategy. Finally, the aliens retreated to their ships. They sent one last warning, a garbled transmission. They had survived another trial. They had proven once again that on Shatter 9, humans were not just alive, they were dominant. The night grew colder, and the winds carried ash and sparks from distant volcanoes. Kale and the elders gathered their people around small fires. They shared stories of previous encounters with predators, storms, and other dangers. Every tale was a lesson, every mistake a guide. Lyra sat beside Kale, her face illuminated by the flickering firelight. "Do you think they'll come back stronger?" she asked. Kale nodded. "Yes, but they do not understand this world, they do not understand us. They will learn the hard way that courage, instinct, and unity cannot be beaten by machines alone." Above, the alien fleet hovered silently, studying, calculating, and failing to comprehend. Their sensors could measure human strength, track heart rates, and record every movement, yet every reading came back impossible. Humans should not survive the storms, the predators, or the extreme temperatures, yet they thrived, adapted, and learned faster than any simulation the aliens had ever run. One alien officer finally spoke, voice trembling. "If this is what they call basic, then what hope does any species have against them? And it terrifies me." Kale walked along the cliff edge, looking at the horizon where storms clashed with fire and stone. The land was alive, violent, and beautiful. This was home. He felt the pulse of the planet beneath his feet, the rhythm of life in all its danger and glory. The aliens had brought fear, technology, and fire, but they did not understand one thing: humans were not afraid. They were alive in a way no machine or weapon could match. Every attack, every trial, only made them stronger, smarter, and faster. Kale crouched beside Lyra as the first light of dawn touched the volcanic peaks. The humans stirred, stretching, preparing for the day ahead. Even as alien ships circled above, even as the ground trembled with heat and predators prowled, the humans moved with confidence. "We survived last night," Kale said quietly. "We will survive today and tomorrow. Let them learn." Their eyes were bright, their minds sharp, and their hearts fearless. And as the alien fleet retreated to plan its next attack, one truth became clear. The alien fleet hovered above, dark shapes against the gray clouds, bristling with weapons and sensors. Their previous encounters had shaken them. They no longer underestimated humans, but they still did not understand them. These were creatures that should have perished long ago on a planet that could kill in seconds, yet they thrived, moved with skill, and survived where even the most advanced alien soldiers failed. Kale crouched on a cliff above the main valley, scanning the land. His people were already on the move. Groups of humans navigated the jagged terrain, testing and reinforcing their traps, studying the behavior of native predators and preparing their defenses. But today was different. Today, the humans were not just defending, they were going to strike. "Kale," Lyra said, coming to his side. The scout drone spotted their main patrol heading toward the northern ridge. "They are fully armed this time." Humans had learned that their strength was not in brute force alone. It was in strategy, observation, and instinct honed over generations. The alien patrol descended into the valley, energy weapons ready. Their sensors detected life forms below, but the readings were confusing. The humans seemed to move faster than they should, disappearing from sensors, appearing in places the aliens did not expect. A hulking alien soldier fired at a human that had crossed an exposed plain. The beam hit a rock nearby. Kale had anticipated this. With a single leap, he had already moved behind cover and signaled to the others. A trap activated below the cliff. Ropes pulled boulders from above, rolling them toward the advancing aliens. One ship's landing gear was crushed. Energy beams struck the rocks but could not stop them. Another alien soldier tried to leap out of the path but tripped over a hidden net and fell heavily. The humans were everywhere at once, striking in multiple directions, using speed, cunning, and the terrain to their advantage. Kale moved to intercept a group of aliens attempting to flank the humans' central position. He carried only a spear, long and simple, tipped with obsidian, yet it was deadly in his hands. He ran across a narrow rock ledge, leapt over a fissure, and landed behind an alien. With a twist and push, he forced the soldier to stumble into a trap, immobilizing him without breaking a single bone. The aliens froze in shock. They had weapons, armor, and numbers on their side, yet they could not match the humans' unpredictability. "This is impossible," one growled. "They are not even afraid of us." They had observed the aliens' patterns during the last attack and prepared a new trap. Sharp stones hidden beneath loose soil, weighted logs suspended over narrow paths, and carefully arranged boulders waiting to tumble. As the aliens advanced, the humans triggered the sequence. Boulders crashed down, pinning a group of armored soldiers. Logs swung, forcing retreat and confusion. Even the youngest humans participated, dropping stones or signaling trap activation. Kale signaled to the central group. "Push forward, keep them contained, don't let them regroup." One alien tried to charge, but Kale sidestepped and kicked a rock into the soldier's path, sending him sprawling into a pit trap. Another alien aimed a pulse weapon, but a young human leaped between the beam and the target, redirecting it into a boulder that shattered. The aliens had never faced a foe like this. They had fought predators, hostile worlds, and entire species at once, yet none moved like humans. They adapted instantly, used instinct in ways the aliens' logic could not predict, and treated death as if it were just another obstacle. One of the alien officers hissed, frustration growing. "They are not normal. No simulation predicted this. No algorithm can match them. What kind of species survives in these conditions and uses it to fight back?" The aliens inside struggled, but humans surrounded them, using simple tools to disable the advanced technology. The other humans cheered silently, signaling to each other with hand signs, eyes bright with determination. They did not underestimate their enemy, but they did not fear them. They had survived storms, predators, and landslides worse than anything the aliens could create. And now they were winning against creatures that had thought themselves unstoppable. An alien scout shouted into a communicator, "Commander, their strategy, it is beyond our understanding. They are using every hazard of this planet as a weapon. Learn from them, or we will lose everything." Every human knew the terrain intimately, every move accounted for every possible alien attack. Despite the alien technology and armor, they could not predict the humans. Every action had a counter. Every trap was prepared in advance. The aliens were strong, but they were rigid. Humans were fluid, flexible, and fearless. By midday, the aliens had suffered heavy losses. Several ships were damaged, troops were trapped, and morale was falling. Kale paused on a ridge, watching the chaos below. He saw small humans coordinating signals, pulling ropes, activating traps, and moving fallen boulders to block paths. Even children were part of the effort, contributing in ways that made the aliens recoil in shock. One alien soldier, pinned under a fallen rock but unharmed, looked up at Kale and hissed, "How are you still standing? How do you survive?" Their reports and sensors could not fully capture the humans' movements. Every calculation failed. Every assumption proved wrong. They began to realize that survival on Shatter 9 was not measured by weapons or armor, but by courage, instinct, and intelligence combined. Kale signaled to his people for a final coordinated strike. Humans on the cliffs released a series of rocks and logs, cutting off retreat paths. Others attacked in small, precise squads, surrounding alien soldiers without risking injury to themselves. One group even captured a small alien vehicle using ropes and mechanical leverage, the human strength amplified by timing and knowledge of the terrain. The aliens panicked. They had underestimated humans before, but now it was undeniable. These creatures were unlike any species they had ever fought. They endured extreme heat, freezing storms, deadly predators, and now alien attacks, all with calm, precise action. The humans were more than survivors. They were warriors, tacticians, and masters of their environment. As the alien troops retreated, Kale stood tall on a cliff, watching them flee. His people gathered around, breathing heavily but smiling. They had not only defended their home, they had struck back, demonstrating skill, intelligence, and courage that no alien could match. Lyra climbed beside Kale, brushing ash from her hair. "They'll come back," she said softly. "Stronger, smarter." "Yes, but we know them now. We know their patterns, their limits, and no matter what they bring, we will survive. We always do." They learned quickly, observing, testing, and experimenting. Above, the alien commander made a final report, voice trembling with disbelief. "They are not afraid. They survive what should kill them. They think in ways no calculation predicts. We may have underestimated evolution itself." The humans of Shatter 9 had faced fire, storms, predators, and alien invaders, and each time they had endured. Today was no different. He looked toward the horizon where the alien fleet lingered. One day they would return with greater numbers, better weapons, and a renewed determination. But Kale was ready. His people were ready. On Shatter 9, survival was not just about avoiding death. It was about understanding life itself, mastering the planet, and never backing down. As night fell, the humans gathered around the volcanic plains, tending to minor injuries and sharing observations from the battle. They discussed strategies, improved traps, and reinforced their knowledge of the terrain. Every lesson learned today would make tomorrow safer. Every failure avoided would keep them alive. And somewhere above, in orbit, the alien fleet recorded, scanned, and learned, realizing that the humans of Shatter 9 were no ordinary species. They were unstoppable, fearless, and brilliant in ways the aliens had never imagined. Kale and Lyra stood on a cliff, watching the stars flicker through the stormy sky. "They think this is impossible," Kale said. "They don't understand what we are capable of." They were alive, unbroken, and ready for whatever the universe sent next. And above, the aliens finally understood a terrifying truth. The humans of Shatter 9 did not just survive. They dominated survival itself. The alien fleet retreated to orbit, shaken but not defeated. From above, the commanders observed the humans below with a mix of fear and fascination. These creatures had survived impossible storms, predators, and attacks, and now they had fought back, striking with intelligence, skill, and courage. The aliens whispered to each other, their voices tinged with disbelief. "They are not like anything we have encountered," one said. "They fight with instinct, with thought, and with unity. This is evolution beyond comprehension." Shatter 9 was alive with danger, and they treated every moment as a lesson. Every crack in the earth, every shift in the wind, every movement of a predator could be used to their advantage. Survival was not just instinct, it was intelligence applied to danger. Kale stood on a jagged ridge, watching a river of molten lava flow through a deep valley. He spotted a young predator trying to cross. Without hesitation, he signaled, and two humans moved silently down the slope. They guided the creature into a trap, not to kill it, but to study it, learn its behavior, and understand how the environment could work with them. The aliens had never seen such coordination. Every human had a purpose, every action was calculated, yet executed with speed and confidence. The humans seemed to anticipate danger before it arrived, moving as if the planet itself whispered instructions in their ears. Lyra approached Kale, carrying tools she had collected from the previous battles. "We need to reinforce the northern traps," she said. "The aliens will return and they will try to attack again. This time they may come in larger numbers. But this is more than traps. We need to make the land work for us. The cliffs, the lava flows, the rocks, they are our allies." They could hear predators approaching before they came into view. They could predict avalanches, landslides, and volcanic eruptions before the ground shifted. The alien fleet sent another patrol to probe the humans' defenses. This time they brought larger vehicles, heavily armored soldiers, and more powerful weapons. They expected resistance, but not coordination. They expected chaos, but found calculation. They expected fear, but saw courage. Kale and Lyra observed the approaching aliens from a high ridge. "They do not understand us," Kale said quietly. "They think weapons make strength. They think numbers make victory, but they forget one thing. On this world, we are stronger than anything they bring." They fired energy beams at the humans, but the terrain absorbed much of the damage. The humans dodged, rolled, and used the environment to block attacks. A boulder here, a rope there, a simple push against the slope, and entire squads of aliens were delayed, disoriented, or trapped. Kale led a group toward a narrow canyon where he knew the aliens would pass. They set a series of traps, Rocks balanced to fall at the right moment, ropes and nets hidden in plain sight, and pits covered with debris. Every action had a purpose. Every step was rehearsed, studied, and timed perfectly. As the alien soldiers entered the canyon, the humans sprang into action. Rocks tumbled from above, pinning soldiers temporarily. Nets fell over the armored troops, immobilizing them. Logs swung from cliffs, forcing retreats. The aliens fired indiscriminately, but the humans had already moved. Every attack was anticipated and countered. The alien commander watched helplessly from orbit. "They are learning," he muttered. "They are adapting faster than we can predict. Every assault teaches them something new. Every defeat strengthens them." "This is incredible," Lyra said, eyes wide. "They think technology wins battles, but we just learned how to neutralize it with sticks and ropes." The humans had set secondary traps, guiding the invaders into narrow paths where the terrain itself became a weapon. Lava flows, cliffs, boulders, and hidden pits slowed their advance and forced them into predictable positions. Every attempt to escape was anticipated. Every strategy met a human counter. Even the youngest humans contributed. Some signaled when traps were ready, others observed alien movements and reported changes in behavior. Everyone had a role and every action mattered. The humans were not just fighting, they were teaching the aliens a lesson in survival. Kale moved alongside Lyra, observing the battlefield. "They think fear and firepower make a species strong," he said. "They do not understand that courage, intelligence, and adaptation make a species unstoppable." Another group attempted a frontal assault but found themselves surrounded, trapped between boulders and netting. The aliens had advanced technology, numbers, and weapons, yet they were defeated by simple tools, strategy, and understanding of the terrain. They had underestimated the humans of Shatter 9, and now they were paying the price. Kale paused to check on a young human who had been injured slightly by falling debris. "Are you okay?" he asked. "Yes," the child replied. "I can keep going." They anticipate every move. They adapt faster than we can predict. Their strength is not in weapons, it is in courage and unity. The humans of Shatter 9 had faced storms that melted metal, predators that could crush bone, and landslides that buried entire villages. They had survived worse than any alien attack. "Tomorrow," he said to Lyra, "we prepare. We reinforce the traps, study the terrain, and train. We learn, we adapt. And when they come again, we will be ready." Above them, the alien commanders recorded everything. They watched in disbelief as the humans used the environment to their advantage, neutralized advanced technology, and coordinated flawlessly. Every move was precise, calculated, and effective. One alien officer finally spoke, voice trembling. "If this is their basic, what does advanced look like?" He stared at the humans below, at their calm determination, at their unity, and at the land itself. "They are extraordinary," he said finally. "We have never seen a species like this. We cannot underestimate them. They will teach us more about survival than any battlefield ever could." "They will come back stronger," Lyra said. "Yes," Kale replied. "But so will we. We know this world, we know each other, and no matter what they bring, we will endure. We always do." The planet continued its violent rhythms, yet the humans moved through it with ease, harmony, and confidence. And above, the alien fleet finally understood a terrifying truth. The humans of Shatter 9 were not just survivors. They were masters of survival itself. The alien fleet returned at dawn, larger and stronger than before. Ships glinted in the pale light, armed with heavier weapons and carrying soldiers trained for one purpose: to eliminate the humans of Shatter 9. From orbit, the alien commanders studied the planet below, scanning the cliffs, valleys, and rivers. They had learned from previous failures, yet uncertainty gnawed at them. Kale stood on a high ridge overlooking the valley, his eyes calm and steady. Around him, humans moved with quiet precision, preparing for the confrontation they had long anticipated. This was no longer just defense. It was a chance to prove that humans, born of a harsh and unforgiving world, could challenge even the most advanced forces in the galaxy. Lyra approached, carrying a bundle of ropes and tools. "They're bringing everything they have," she said. Kale nodded. "Good, let them come. We know this world, we know ourselves. Nothing they bring can surprise us." Every boulder, every fissure, every lava flow became a weapon. The first wave of alien soldiers descended into the valleys, confident and organized. Their energy weapons fired without hesitation, cutting through rocks and scattering debris. Yet the humans moved faster, dodging, rolling, and disappearing behind natural cover. One human leapt across a fissure and triggered a trap that sent a massive boulder crashing down, blocking the path of advancing vehicles. Another squad used ropes and logs to redirect molten streams toward armored soldiers, forcing them back. The aliens had anticipated resistance, but not this. Every attack, every movement of the humans was unpredictable yet precise. Every human worked as a part of a whole, reacting instantly to changing conditions. Even when injured or exhausted, they adapted. Every misstep by the aliens was met with a human counterattack. Kale signaled to a team stationed along the northern ridge. "Now," he whispered. With a synchronized motion, they released nets and logs, capturing an alien squad completely. The soldiers struggled, but the humans had calculated every angle, leaving no chance for escape. The alien commander watched in disbelief. "They are not just surviving, they are controlling the battlefield," he said. "We have never faced a species like this. They are beyond calculation." "But they don't know the land as we do. Lead them toward the canyon." Rocks fell, blocking paths, while weighted logs swung down, forcing soldiers back. Nets captured soldiers who tried to flee, and lava flows redirected into narrow channels, isolating small groups. The aliens fought fiercely, but every move had been anticipated. Technology and numbers could not overcome instinct, strategy, and adaptation. The humans moved with precision, striking only when the moment was perfect. Not a single life was wasted unnecessarily, yet every action ensured victory. Kale moved along a cliff edge, spear in hand, watching an armored alien soldier attempt to escape. With a swift leap, he blocked the path, forcing the alien into a trap below. He turned to see Lyra guiding another squad into a pit, using ropes and careful timing. Every human knew their role, every movement was deliberate. Above, the alien fleet fired from orbit, energy beams scorching the ground, but the humans were prepared. Smoke from small fires and ash from the volcanic plains concealed their movements. The aliens could not see their targets clearly, and every attack only reinforced the humans' advantage. Kale signaled for a final maneuver. Humans from multiple ridges coordinated simultaneously, using rocks, ropes, and lava flows to isolate and neutralize the remaining alien squads. One soldier tried to fire at Kale, but Lyra, moving unseen from above, dropped a weighted net, capturing him instantly. Another group attempted to retreat, only to find the canyon blocked by rolling boulders. The alien commander in orbit transmitted a desperate message. "We cannot win. They are invincible in this environment." Their courage, their unity, it exceeds all logic. The battle continued for hours, but the result became inevitable. The aliens were forced to retreat once more, leaving behind damaged ships, captured soldiers, and recordings of the humans' tactics. They had been humbled, defeated, and forced to acknowledge the humans' strength. Kale surveyed the battlefield. The humans were tired but unbroken. They had fought with precision, courage, and intelligence, and they had won. Around him, children carried stones and ropes, elders checked traps and injuries, and every human shared in the victory. Lyra approached, eyes shining. "They will remember this," she said. "They will know we are not weak, we are not afraid." "We always are." They realized that humans were not just physically resilient, they were mentally adaptable, brave, and strategic. No algorithm could predict their moves, no weapon could ensure victory. Humans had mastered survival in a way no other species had. One alien officer finally spoke, voice low and fearful. "They are beyond us. Their strength is not in machines or numbers. It is in life itself." His people gathered around, their faces tired but glowing with pride. Every human had played a part. Every trap, every calculation, every leap, and every dodge had contributed to this victory. Lyra leaned against Kale. "Do you think they'll come back?" she asked. Kale smiled faintly. "Yes, they will return with more ships, more weapons, more soldiers, but we are ready. This is our world, and we know it better than they ever will." The alien fleet retreated beyond the horizon, carrying the lesson of humans' courage, intelligence, and resilience. They had thought themselves superior, but they had faced a species that redefined strength. They had underestimated evolution, instinct, and the will to survive. Kale looked over the cliffs, watching the retreating ships fade into the clouds. He felt the pulse of the planet beneath his feet, the rhythm of life in every stone, stream, and creature. Shatter 9 was alive, and so were its people, stronger, wiser, and united. Around him, the humans began preparing for the next day. They repaired traps, studied terrain, trained the young, and ensured that every member of the tribe knew their role. Every lesson learned in battle would make them stronger tomorrow. Lyra watched Kale, her expression proud. "They call this basic," she said. Kale nodded, eyes on the horizon. "For them, yes, for us it is survival, and survival is everything." The planet continued its violent rhythms, storms, lava flows, and predators, but the humans moved through it with harmony and confidence. Every human was prepared, every mind sharp, and every heart fearless. Above, the alien commanders transmitted reports to their homeworld, acknowledging what they could not deny. The humans of Shatter 9 were extraordinary. They had survived impossible conditions, adapted instantly, and defeated forces that should have crushed them. No species could match their courage, intelligence, and unity. They were more than survivors, they were masters of survival itself. Kale climbed to the highest cliff on the ridge, looking at the stars shining above the stormy horizon. The alien fleet had gone, but they would return. He did not fear them. Humanity had endured worse. Humanity had faced death countless times and had always prevailed. He turned to Lyra. "We have shown them what we are, and we will show them again if we must. Shatter 9 is ours, and no force in the galaxy can change that." The storms raged, predators prowled, and lava flowed, but the humans thrived. They moved with the land, mastered the environment, and faced every danger without fear. They were alive in a way the aliens could not understand, a way that made them unstoppable, unbreakable, and unforgettable. The alien fleet had learned a truth they could not deny. The humans of Shatter 9 did not just survive. They defined survival itself. The stars glimmered above, silent witnesses to the courage, intelligence, and unity of a species that no enemy, no matter how advanced, could ever defeat. Shatter 9 belonged to humans, and humans in every sense were the ultimate survivors.